of written work of pure gold, and they made 2 hunches of gold and 2 gold rings, and put the 2 rings in the 2 ends of the breastplate. And they put the 2 written chains of gold in the 2 rings on the ends of the breastplate, and the 2 ends of the 2 written chains they fastened in the 2 hunches, and put them on the shoulder pieces of ephod before it. And they made 2 rings of gold, and put them on the 2 ends of breastplate upon the shoulders of it, upon the border of it, which was on the ephod inward. And they made 2 other golden rings, and put them on the 2 sides of the ephod underneath, toward the foremost part of it, over against the other coupling thereof, above the curious girdle of the ephod. And they did bind the breastplate by its rings upon the rings of the ephod with a lace of blue, that it might be above the curious girdle of the ephod, and that the breastplate might not be loosed from the ephod, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he made the rope of ephod of woven works of all blue, as the whole of an hebagon, with a branch round about the hole that is not rent. And they made upon the hems of rope pomegranates of blue, or purple, scarlet, and twine lining. And they made bells of pure gold, and they put the bells between the pomegranates up on the hem of the rope round about them, between the pomegranate and the bed, and the pomegranate and the bed, and the pomegranate round about the hem of the rope of minister in it, as the Lord commanded Moses. And they made coats of fine lining of woven work for Aaron and for his sons, and the metal of fine lining, and goodly bonnets of fine lining, and lining breeches of fine twin lining, and the girdle of fine twin lining, and blue, purple, and scarlet of needlework, as the Lord commanded Moses. And they made the plate of a holy crown of pure gold, and wrote upon it a writing like unto the great engraving of the signet, holiness to the Lord. And they tied unto it a lace of blue to fasten it on high upon the mitre, as the Lord commanded Moses. Thus was all the work of the tabernacle of the tent of the congregation finished. And the children of Israel did according to all that the Lord commanded Moses, so did they. And they brought the tabernacle unto Moses, the tent, and all his furniture, his thatches, his board, his bars, and his pillars, and his sockets. And the covering of ram skin dyed red, and the covering of badger skin, and the true, and the veil of a covering, and the ark of testimony, and the stage thereof, and the mercy seat, the table, and all the vessels thereof, and the shewbread, and pure candlestick with the lamps thereof, even with the lamps to be set in order, and all the vessels thereof, and the oil for light, and the golden altar, and the anointing oil, and the sweet incense, and the hanging of the tabernacle door, the brazen altar, and his gate of brass, his tape, and all his vessels, the laver, and his foot, the hangings of the court, his pillars, and his sockets, and the hanging of the court gate, his courts, and his pins, and all the vessels of the service of the tabernacle for the tent of the congregation, the cloth of service to do service in the holy place, and the holy garments of Aaron, the priest, and the son's garment to minister unto the priest's office, according to all that the Lord commanded Moses. So the children of Israel made all the work. Moses did look upon all the work, and behold, they had done it as the Lord had commanded. Even so had they done it. And Moses blessed them. Chapter 40. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, on the first day of the first month shalt thou set up the tabernacle of the tent of congregation. And thou shalt put therein the ark of testimony, and cover the ark with veil. And thou shalt bring in the table, and light the lamp thereof. And thou shalt set the altar of gold for the incense before the ark of testimony, and put the hangings of the door of the tabernacle. And thou shalt set the altar of the burnt offering before the door of the tabernacle of the tent of congregation. Thou shalt set the laver between the tent of congregation and the altar, and shalt put water therein. And thou shalt set up the court round about, and hang up the hangings of the curtain, and shalt hallow it, and all the vessels, and sanctify the altar, and it shall be an altar most holy. And thou shalt anoint the laver and his foot, and sanctify it. Thou shalt bring Aaron the holy garments, and anoint him, and sanctify him, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. Thou shalt bring his sons, and clothe them with coats. Thou shalt anoint them, and as thou didst anoint their father, that they may minister unto me in the priest's office. For the anointing shall surely be an everlasting priesthood throughout their generations. Thus did Moses according to all that the Lord commanded him, so did he. And it came to pass in the first month, in the second year of the first day of the month, that the tabernacle was reared up, and Moses reared up the tabernacle, and fastened its sockets, and set up the bars thereof, and put in the bars thereof, and reared up his feet above upon it, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he took and put his testimony to the ark, and set his the ark, and put his mercy seat above upon the ark. And he brought the ark into the tabernacle, and set up the veil of the covering, and covered the ark of testimony, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he put the table in the tent of congregation upon the side of the tabernacle, not without the veil. And he set the bread in between, and he set the laver between the tent of congregation and the altar, and put water there to wash with that. And Moses and Aaron And his sons washed their hands and their feet thereat. When they went into the tent of congregation, and when they came to the altar, they washed as the Lord commanded Moses. And they reared up the courts round about the tabernacle and the altar, and set up the anchor. Then a cloud covered the tent of the congregation, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. And Moses was not able to enter into the tent of the congregation, because the cloud abode thereon, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. And when the cloud was taken off from over the tabernacle, the children of Israel went onward in all their journey. But if the cloud, for the cloud of the Lord was on the tabernacle by the day, and fire was upon it by night, in the sight of all the house of Israel throughout all their journeys. The third book of Moses, called Leviticus, chapter 1. And the Lord commanded, and the Lord called unto Moses and said, and spake unto him out of the tabernacle of the congregation, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, If any man of you bring an offering unto the Lord, ye shall bring his offering be a burnt offering of a head. Let him offer a male blood, and sprinkle the blood round about on the altar that is by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And he shall flay the burnt offering and cut it unto pieces. And the sons of Aaron the priest shall put fire, shall bring it as a meal without blemish, and shall kill it on the side of the altar, not tall before the Lord. And the priest and Aaron's son shall sprinkle his blood round about upon the altar. The most sacrifice for his offering is to the Lord be offering of 2 to 30 does of young pigeons, and the priest shall bring it unto the altar, and wring off his head, and burn it on the altar, and the blood thereof shall be wrung out at the side of the altar. And he shall pluck away his crop with his feathers, and cast it beside the altar on the east part of it, by the place of the ashes. And shall cleave it with the wings thereof, but shall not divide it asunder. And the priest shall burn it upon the altar, upon the wood that is upon the fire, and it's a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire of a sweet savour unto the Lord. Chapter 2. And when any will offer a meat offering unto the Lord, his offering shall be of fine flour, and he shall pour oil upon it, and put frankincense. And he shall bring it to Aaron's sons and priests, and he shall take thereof his handful of the flour thereof, and of the oil thereof, and all the frankincense thereof. And the priest shall burn the memorial of it upon the altar to be an offering made by fire, of a sweet savour to the Lord, and the most holy of the offering of the Lord made by fire. And he that bring an oblation of the meat of unleavened wafers anointed with oil unto the Lord, unto the priest, he shall bring it upon the altar. And the priest shall take a sweet savour unto the Lord. And that which is left of the meat offering shall be Aaron's and his sons. It is a thing most holy of the offering of the Lord made by fire. No meat offering which he shall bring unto the Lord shall be made with leaven. Season with salt shall thou season with salt, and neither shalt thou suffer the salt of the covenant of God to be lacking from thy meat offering. With all thy offering thou shalt offer salt, and if thou offer a meat offering of thy first fruit unto the Lord, thou shalt offer for the meat offering of thy first fruit green ears of corn dried by the fire, even corn beaten out of full ears. And thou shalt offer to the Lord. Chapter 3. And if it of a head, whether it be a male or female, he shall offer it without blemish before the Lord, and he shall lay his hand upon the head of the offering. Above the liver with the kidney, it shall be taken away. And Aaron's son shall burn it on the altar upon the burnt sacrifice, which is upon the wood that is on fire, bring unto the Lord be of the flock. Male or female, he shall offer it without blemish. If he offer a lamb for his offering, then shall he offer it before the Lord, and he shall lay his hands upon the head of his offering, and kill it before the tabernacle of congregation. And Aaron's son shall sprinkle the blood thereon round about upon the altar. And he shall offer up the sacrifice of the peace offering, an offering made by the Lord, the heart by the backbone, and the fat that cover the inwards, and all the fat that is upon the inwards, and the two kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, which is by the flanks, and the caul above the liver, the food of the offering made by fire unto the Lord. And if his offering be a goat, then he shall offer it before the Lord. And he shall lay his hands upon the head of it, and kill it before the tabernacle of the congregation. And the sons of Aaron shall sprinkle the blood thereof upon the altar round about, and he shall offer thereof his offering, even an offering made by fire unto the Lord. The fat, the two kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, which is by the flank, and shall burn them upon the altar. It is the food of the offering made by perpetual statute for organization throughout all your dwellings. Fat nor blood. And Lord's chapter 4, blood, and bring it to the tabernacle of congregation, and the priest shall dip his finger in the blood, And the priest shall put some of the blood upon the horn of the altar, or sweet incense before the Lord, which is the tabernacle of the congregation, and shall pour all the blood of the wood of the congregation. The ashes on him on the wood with fire, and the things be healed of your assembly. And they have done somewhat against any of the commandments of the Lord concerning things which should not be done, and are guilty. When the sin which they have sinned against it is known, the congregation shall offer a young bullock for the sin, and bring him before the tabernacle of congregation, and the elders of the congregation shall lay their hands upon the head of the bullock before the Lord, and the bullock shall be killed before the Lord, and the bullock shall be killed before the Lord. And the priest that is anointed shall bring of the bullock's blood of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the priest shall dip his finger in some of the blood, and sprinkle it 7 times before the blood, even before the veil. Shall put some of the blood upon the horns of the altar, which is before the Lord, that is in the tabernacle of the congregation, and shall pour out all the blood at the bottom of the altar and the burnt offering, which is at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And he shall take his offering, the kid of without blemish, and he shall lay his hands. The priest shall take of the blood of his sin offering and his finger, and put it upon the horns of the altar of the burnt offering, and shall pour out his blood at the bottom of the altar for burnt offering. And he shall all his sin as concerning sin, while he doeth somewhat against the commandment. And he shall take away all the fat thereof, as the fat is taken away from off the sacrifice of peace offering. And the priest shall burn it of forgiving it. And if he bring a lamb of sin offering, he shall bring it the female without blemish, and he shall lay his hands upon his head on the sin offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for his sin, and that he committed, and he shall be forgiven him. Chapter 5. And if he sin, and he had the voice of swearing, and is a witness whether he had sinned or known of it, if he do not utter it, then he shall bear his iniquity. Or if he so touch any unclean thing, whether it be a carcass of unclean beast, or a carcass of unclean cattle, or the carcass of unclean keeping, then he shall be guilty unto the Lord. A female from the flock, a lamb of a kid of a goat for his sin offering, and the priest shall make an atonement for him concerning his sin. And if he shall bring for his trespass which he hath committed 2 turtle doves, or 2 young pigeons unto the Lord, one for his sin offering, and the other for burnt offering. And he shall bring them unto the priest, who shall offer that which is for the sin offering. For sin shall bring forth his offering, the 10th part of an ephah of fine flour of a sin offering. He shall put no oil upon it, and it shall be forgiven him, and remnant shall the priest as a meat, and shall add the 5th part thereon to, and the priest. And if a soul sin and commit any of these things which are for the commandment of the Lord, though he wills it not, yet is he guilty, and shall be forgiven him. It shall be forgiven him. It is a trespass offering. He has certainly trespassed against the Lord. Chapter 6. And Lord spake unto Moses, saying, if a soul sin and commit trespass against the Lord, or in a thing taken away by violence, or had deceived his neighbor, or have found that which was lost, and lied not concerning it, and swore falsely in any of all this, that the man doeth sinning, then he deceitfully gotten, or that which he was delivered of him to keep, of the loss of things which he be found, or all that about which he has found falsely, he shall even store it in the principal. And the priest shall make an atonement for him before the Lord, and he shall forgiven him for anything of all that he had done in trespassing upon his flesh, and take up the ashes which the fire had consumed with a burnt offering on the altar, and shall put them beside the altar. And shall put off his garment, and put on the other garment, and carry forth the ashes without the camp unto the clean place. And the fire upon the altar shall be burning on it. In it shall not be put out. And the priest shall burn wood on it every morning, and lay the burnt offering in order upon it, and he shall burn thereon the fat of the peace offering. The fire shall ever be burning upon the altar. It shall never go out. And this is the law of the meat offering. The sons of Aaron shall offer it before the Lord, before the altar. And he shall take of it his handful of the flour of a meat offering, and all thereof, and all the frankincense which is upon the meat offering, and shall burn it upon the altar for a sweet savour, even the memorial of it upon the Lord, and the remainder thereof shall Aaron and his sons eat with unleavened bread, shall it be eaten, and in the holy in the court of the tabernacle of the congregation they shall eat it. It shall not be taken with leaven. I have given it unto them for the portion of the offering made by fire. It is most holy as it is the sin offering, and as its trespass offering. All the males among the children of Israel shall eat of it. It shall be a statute forever in your generations concerning the offering of the Lord made by fire. Everyone that toucheth them shall be holy. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, This is the offering of Aaron and of his sons, which they shall offer unto the Lord in the day that he is anointed. When he is anointed, the 10th part of an ephah in a pan shall be made with oil, and when it is that shall in the place where the burnt offering is killed, shall the sin offering be killed before the Lord is most holy. The priest that offereth it for sin shall eat it. In the holy place shall it be eaten. In the court of the tabernacle of congregation, whosoever shall touch the flesh thereof shall be holy. And when there is sprinkled of the blood thereof upon any clothing in a brazen pot, shall be both salted and rinsed in water. All the males among the priests shall eat thereof, it is most holy. And no sin offering whereof any of the blood is unto the tabernacle of congregation to reconcile with that in the holy place shall be eaten. This is the law of the trespass offering. It shall be most holy. And the place where they kill the burnt offering, shall they kill the trespass offering. Put upon all about the altar. And they shall offer it all. They shall offer it all. The fat thereof, the rump, and the flank, and the cord that is above the liver with the cricket atonement, therewith shall have it. And the priest that offereth any man, and all the meat offering that is baking in the oven, or that is dressed in the frying pan and the pan, shall be the priest that offered it, one as much as another. This is the law of a sacrifice of peace offerings, which he shall offer unto the Lord. If he offer it for a thanksgiving, then he shall offer with cake with oil, and unleavened wafers anointed with oil, and cakes mingled with oil, or fine fried. It's given of his peace offering. And of it he shall offer any of it until the morning. And if any of the flesh of sacrifice of a peace offering be eaten at all on the third day, it shall not be accepted, neither shall it be put unto him. The flesh and all that be clean shall eat thereof. But the soul that eateth of the flesh of sacrifice of peace offering, that pertaineth unto the Lord, having his uncleanness of man, or any unclean beast, or any of which man on the soul that eateth, it shall be cut off from the people. But if he shall eat no manner of blood, whether it be about so it shall be that eateth any manner of blood, even that soul shall be cut unto the Lord. His own son shall he bring, that the breast may be waved for a wave offering before the Lord. And the priest shall burn the fat upon the altar, but the breast, that the breast may be waved for a wave offering before the Lord. And the priest shall burn the fat upon the altar, but the breast, sons of Aaron, that offer the blood of the peace offering, and the fat shall. And I have given them unto Aaron the priest, and unto the sons by statute, and of the anointing to the Lord in the priest office, which the Lord commanded to be given them of the children of Israel in the day that he anointed them by the statute of ever throughout their generations. This is the law of the burnt offering, of the meat offering, and of the sin offering, and of the trespass offering, and of the consideration, and of the sacrifice of peace offering, which the Lord commanded Moses in Mount Sinai, the day that he commanded the children of Israel to offer the oblation unto the Lord in the wilderness of Sinai. And Moses said, and Moses said unto the congregation, This is the thing which the Lord commanded to be done. And Moses brought Aaron and his sons, and washed them with water. And he put upon the coat, upon him the coat, and gathered across, and he gathered him with the curious girdle of the ephod, and bound it upon him there and to him that was therein, and sanctified them, and he sprinkled thereof upon the altar 7 times, and anointed the altar and all his vessels upon the lavers and the foot to sanctify them. And he poured of the anointing oil upon Aaron's head, and anointed him to sanctify him. Moses brought Aaron's sons, and put coats upon them, and guided them with girdles, and put bonnets upon them, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he brought the bullocks for the sin offering, and Aaron and his sons laid their hands upon the head of their bullocks for the sin offering. And he slew it, and moved the horns of the altar, and about with his finger, and purified the altar, and poured the blood at the bottom of the altar, and sanctified it, to make the consolation upon it. And he took all the fat that was the bullock, and his hide, his flesh, and his dung, he burnt with fire without the camp, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he brought the ram for the burnt offering, and Aaron and his son laid their hands upon the head of the ram, and he killed it. And Moses sprinkled the blood upon the altar round about. And he cut the ram into pieces, and Moses burned the head on the pieces and the fat. And he brought the other ram, the ram of consecration. And Aaron and his sons laid their hands upon the head of the ram. And he slew it, and Moses took of the blood of it and put it upon the tip of Aaron's right ear, their fast and the right shoulder, and out the basket of the unleavened bread that was before the Lord. He took one unleavened cake and a cake of oiled bread and one wafer and put them on the floor of a ram of consecration. It was Moses' part as the Lord commanded Moses. Moses took of the anointing oil and the blood, and of the blood which was upon the altar, go out of the door of the tabernacle of the congregation in the 7 days, until the days of your consecration be at shall he consecrate to do, to make an atonement for you. Therefore shall ye abide at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation day and night commanded. So Aaron and his son did all the things which the Lord commanded by the hand of Moses. Chapter 9. And it came to pass on the 8th day that Moses called Aaron and his sons and the elders of Israel, and he said unto Aaron, take thee a young calf for a sin offering and a ram for a burnt offering without blemish, and offer them before the Lord, and unto the children of Israel shalt thou speak, saying, for a burnt offering, and also a bullock and a ram for a peace offering, and a sacrifice before the Lord, and the meat offering mingled with all for to that which Moses commanded before the tabernacle of congregation. And all the congregation drew near and stood before the Lord. And Moses said, this is the thing which the Lord commanded that ye should do, and the glory of the Lord shall appear unto you. And Moses said unto Aaron, go unto the altar, and offer thy sin offering and thy burnt offering, and make an atonement for thyself and for the people, and offer. They all went unto the altar, and slew the calf of the sin offering, which was for himself, and put it upon the horns of the altar, and poured out the blood at the bottom of the altar. For the fat and the kidney and the caul about the of the sin offering, he burnt not upon the altar, as the Lord commanded Moses. And the flesh and the hide he burned with fire without the camp. And he slew the burnt offering, and Aaron's sons presented unto him the blood which is sprinkled round about upon the altar. And they presented the burnt offering unto him with the piece thereof, and the head, and he burnt them upon the altar. And he did wash the inwards and the legs, and burnt them upon the burnt offering altar. And he brought the people's offering and took the sin as the first. And he brought the burnt offering and offered it according to the manner. And he took an handful thereof and burnt it upon the altar beside the burnt sacrifice of the. And Aaron's sons presented unto him by blood sprinkled upon the altar round about. And the fat of the bullock and the ram that which covered upon the altar. And the breast, right shoulder, Aaron waved for a wave offering before the Lord as Moses commanded. And Aaron lifted up his hand towards the people and blessed them, and came down from offering of the sin offering and the burnt offering and the peace offering. And Moses and Aaron went unto the tabernacle of the congregation and came out and blessed the people, and the glory of the Lord appeared unto all the people. And there came fire out before the Lord and consumed the altar and the burnt offering and the fat, wherein all the people saw, they shouted and fell on their faces. Chapter 10. And Nadab and Abihu, the sons of Aaron, took either of them a censer, and put fire therein, and put incense thereon, and offered strange fire before the Lord, which he commanded not. And there went out fire. Is it that the Lord spake, saying, I will be sanctified in them that come nigh me, and before the people I will be glorified. And Aaron held his peace. And Moses called Mishael and Elzaphan, the son of Uzziel, the uncle of Aaron, and said unto them, come near, carry your brethren from before the sanctuary of the out of. So they went near and carried them in the coat out of the camp, as Moses had said. Moses said unto Aaron, and unless he die, for the anointing of the Lord is upon you. And they did according to the word of Moses. And the Lord spake unto Aaron, saying, do not drink wine or strong drink, thou not thy son with thee, when ye go into the tabernacle of the congregation, lest he die. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations, and that ye may put difference between holy and unholy, and between unclean and clean, and that ye may teach the children of Israel the statute which the Lord hath spoken unto them by the hand of Moses. And Moses spake unto Aaron and unto Eleazar and unto Ithamar his sons that were left, take the meat offering that remaineth of the offering of the Lord made by fire, and eat it without leaven beside the altar, for it is most holy. And ye shall eat it in the holy place, because it is thy due, and thy son's due, and of sacrifice. Wave breast, and heave shoulder shall ye eat in the clean place, and thou and thy sons, and thy daughters with thee, for they be thy due, and thy son's due, which are given out of sacrifice of peace offering of the children of Israel. The heave shoulder and the wave breast shall they bring with the offering made by fire of the fat, to wave it for a wave offering with most holy. And God has given it to you to bear iniquity of the congregation, to make atonement for them before the Lord. Behold, the blood of it in the holy place. You should indeed have eaten it in the holy place, as I commanded. And Aaron said unto Moses, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Whatsoever parted the hoof, and is cloven-footed, and chewed the cord among the beasts, that shall ye eat. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them which chew the cord, and of them that divide the hoof, as the camel, because he chewed the cord, but divided not the hoof, and is unclean unto you. And the coney, because he chewed the cord, but divided not the hoof, is unclean unto you. And the hare, because he chewed the cord, but divided not the hoof, is unclean unto you. And they chewed not the cord, is unclean to you. Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcasses shall ye not touch, they are unclean to you. They shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters in the seas, and the river, them shall ye eat. And all that have no fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the water, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination to you. They shall be even an abomination to you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcasses in abomination. Whatsoever had no fins nor scales in the waters shall be an abomination to you. And these are they which are among the fowls. They shall not be eaten. They are an abomination: the eagle, the ostrich, the osprey, and the vulture, and the kite after their kind. Even the raven after his kind, and the owl, and the night hawk, and the cuckoo, and the hawk after his kind, and the little owl, and the common ant, and the great owl, and the swan, and the pelican, and the gier eagle, and the stork, the heron after a kind, and the lapwing, and the bat. All fowl that creep going upon all fours shall be an abomination unto you. Yet this may ye eat of every flying, creeping thing that goeth upon all fours, which have legs above their feet after his kind, and the beetle after his kind, and the grasshopper after his kind. All other flying, creeping things which have 4 feet shall be an abomination to you. And for this he shall be unclean. Whosoever toucheth the carcass of them shall be unclean until the evening. And whosoever beareth aught of the carcass of them shall wash his clothes, and shall be unclean until evening. The carcass of every beast which divided the hoof, and is not cloven-footed, nor chewed the cord, are unclean unto you. Everyone that toucheth them shall be unclean. Whatever goeth upon the spoils, and among all manner of beasts that go on all fours, those are unclean unto you. All it. Whatsoever is in it shall be unclean, and ye shall break it. Of all meat which may be eaten, on which such water cometh, shall be unclean. Everything, where any part of their carcass falleth, shall be unclean. Whether it be oven or ranges or pots, they shall be broken down, for they are unclean, and shall be unclean unto you. Nevertheless, if food upon